Whether it's a house that's a fort of surveillance or a complete entourage of guards resembling an army, if there's one thing rich people love spending more on than their yachts, it's themselves. And with a lot of the CEOs of the past suffering assassinations and kidnappings, it's no surprise that they do so. And so here is a list of the absolute most heavily guarded CEOs in the world, starting with number 1, Bill Gates. One of the biggest names in the tech world since its inception, and without a doubt, one of the most influential people of the last century, it's no surprise that the owner and co-founder of Microsoft doesn't compromise on security, whether it's related to him or his family. And to get an idea of just how wildly incredible his security is, you don't need to look any further than his positively spy base-like Lake Washington mansion. With an estimated cost well over $100 million, from some sources quoting a $123 million price tag, the security bill would already be huge. But then there's the fact that the person inside has a net worth of $136 billion and is one of the most important people in the tech industry. And it's no shock to see what the building is equipped with. The house, already a luxurious and futuristic marvel, is under human surveillance 24/7. And since it's situated on a lake, that side is monitored well too. For example, in case any boater gets too cocky and tries to get closer to the house than permitted, they'll be immediately approached by the security team of Gates in a boat that is ready at all times for maximum response time. Number 2, Tim Cook. Although Steve Jobs will always remain the face of Apple, his successor Tim Cook has been no slouch either, with the company growing in worth with rapid speed during his time. And being such a valuable asset to the world's most valuable company, the fact that Apple would spend a ton of money on Cook's security is no shock. What is a shock, however, is the exact budget, as, according to reports, the Californian tech giant has spent $457,083 on private security for Tim Cook in 2019 alone. And according to a proxy statement filed in January of this year, that is up 104% from $310,000 in 2018. That involves high-security cars, bodyguards, surveillance, tracking and monitoring every action for safety, and much, much more. One of the places where these people are most vulnerable is during travel, and as a result, that's always a point where costs go into. And wouldn't you know it, Cook's travel costs also surged last year by 239% to $315,311, which is probably a direct result of Cook's efforts to save Apple from the brunt of the US-China trade war. Number 3, Donald Trump. You already knew this name was coming on this list, and you were not wrong. An eccentric rich guy beyond doubt, Donald Trump is famous for his security endeavors, and yet you may be surprised at just how far his network reaches. From a whole team of bodyguards, armed and coordinated, to an entourage of armored cars to escort him places, it's pretty soon clear that being the president wasn't really a big jump for the guy. In fact, according to most accounts, the security network is so tight that there is not only an entire team dedicated to defending his own person, but separate 24/7 security teams for employment for each member of his family. You can have an idea of this from the fact that during the early days of his presidency, he as well as his family were at high risk, and as a result, while he himself enjoyed the official security of the office, his son, who stayed in New York at the family Trump Tower, enjoyed the entirety of the building being under security surveillance as well. And then there's the limo that the internet loves, and for good reason. Built by GM specifically for him, the model is built upon the Cadillac CT6 platform, but that's where the similarities end, as this car has armored windows, matching blood bags for everyone who may ride, extra thick steel covering, and a whole slew of other stuff. Number 4, Jeff Bezos. Repeatedly claiming the title of the world's richest man in history and the entrepreneur behind massive companies like Amazon, it's no secret that Bezos is a huge asset, and as a result, deserves the protection of the highest order. And, well, he seems to be getting it, as according to Amazon's own reports, they spend an annual $1.6 million on his security. But that's not the most important part, because as it turns out, that number hasn't changed since 2012. All the while, his relevance, and more importantly, his total worth, has increased by hundreds of billions of dollars. So many people think that he actually spends more on his security. And the fact is corroborated by an Amazon spokesperson, who said that Bezos Bezos pays separately for his personal security. As for the kind of security measures he has in place, according to public reports, the guy has bulletproof panels installed in his office, which is in his own building, filled with hundreds of guards and personnel he already pays. This was revealed in a Seattle city planning permit, which wouldn't have been looked upon, but the Daily Beast took notice that it showed an application for the installation of bulletproof panels in Bezos' office in November 2018 and was granted permission in January 2019. And just so we show how insane that is, according to market rates at the time, the panels would have cost $180,000 to install and can withstand multiple shots from a military assault rifle. Good luck, revolutionaries, I guess. Coming back to his personal spending, however, to see just how concerned he is with his security, take the time in 2019 when a few intimate texts between former TV anchor Lauren Sanchez and our good pal Mr. Bezos had become public through the National Enquirer. And as a result, this prompted Bezos to hire his personal security chief, Gavin DeBecker, to investigate the source of the leak. And so for that purpose, instead of paying him a good bonus, he did what you'd expect him to do and wrote him a blank check. If you think that's too much, this reveal comes directly from DeBecker himself, who in March wrote to the Daily Beast, saying Bezos told him to spend whatever is needed to get to the root of how his texts were obtained by the Enquirer. After the deep investigation was over, another facet about Bezos was revealed: his high-profile enemies. According to the report published after the investigation, the investigators, with high confidence, believe that Saudi Arabia was behind the leak. In retaliation, Jamal Khashoggi, a journalist in the Bezos-owned Washington Post, was murdered by the Saudi consulate. If that wasn't enough, when Bezos' phone had been revealed to be hacked in early 2020, the forensic investigation of Bezos' phone revealed that in May 2018, he had been hacked via WhatsApp, most likely by Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And, well, if the fact that even an entire government can't hide when faced with Bezos doesn't prove how thoroughly protected he is, I don't know what does. Number 5. Mark Zuckerberg. Last but definitely not least, we have the original weird CEO, Mark Zuckerberg. And well, there's no way to build up, so let's just tell you about the security bill Facebook pays for their golden boy, $23 million. That's right, he spends over 10 times the money Bezos does, at least officially, and that makes him among the most well-protected people in the world. Now, a big reason for these obscene security costs was the disaster that was 2018. With the revelations about Facebook's loose playing with user privacy and open outrage against the CEO, the company poured cash into protecting him, reportedly spending $10 million on personal protection for Zuckerberg in that year alone, a cost that was up $2.5 million from the previous year. And just if that somehow sounds insufficient, he was also given a pre-tax allowance valuing $10 million for any teeny additional costs that his and his family's safety may demand. Jeez. To answer just why on earth that would be needed, the company revealed in an SEC filing that public rage directed toward Facebook was why the company decided to spend so much on Zuckerberg's high security. Going on, they said that he is synonymous with Facebook, and as a result, negative sentiment regarding our company is directly associated with and often transferred to Mr. Zuckerberg. And well, although that problem eventually died down, apparently the CEO developed a taste for that security, since that cost continued for 2019 and hell, even increased in the shockingly quiet year that was 2019, as it was revealed in a proxy filing from April 2020 that the company was spending roughly $23 million on Zuckerberg's security and travel costs. And what exactly does that security entail? Well, according to Business Insider's Rob Price, Zuckerberg and his estate are protected at all times by armed executive protection officers who stand guard outside his Bay Area homes. Yes, that's homes as in plural. And if that is insufficient, one of the homes is said to be equipped with a panic room. In the 5,000-word investigation into Facebook security operations that he published, Price also mentioned that there's a bit of a rumor among Facebook employees about this ridiculous spending habit. That being that, apparently, Zuckerberg has a panic chute in case he and his team need to evacuate the offices. One source even told Price that they had been briefed on the passageway's existence and usage in case of an emergency. And if that doesn't sound fun, I don't know what does. Now, that covers the main part of the list. However, there is one small asterisk that hides the actual most well-protected CEO of all, Elon Musk. And well, ever since his security demands were revealed in a tweet in November 2018 regarding his new venture, The Boring Company, there is no denying that Elon knows security, as he wanted to hire a, quote, a knight to yell insults at people in a French accent. And if that doesn't sound like airtight security, I don't know what does. Alright folks, you have reached the end of the video. That was all for today. Hope you guys liked it. And if you did, make sure to drop a like. And with that, I'll see y'all next time.